We have to stop thinking of Facebook as a PPC platform. It's not display. It's not programmatic. It's not email. It's not an inventory or demand-based platform. It is a user experience platform. What they don't realize is Facebook is the employee, you're the manager. The harder you work, the more you're micromanaging your employees. The more I micromanage an employee, the worse they are.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Building Blocks podcast. Today, I'm joined by an exciting guest, Charles Tichenor, who is the founder of Disruptor School. And you can think of them like co-academy for digital marketing. And I can tell you from being here for so many years, something like that is absolutely needed. Charles, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Crack a cold one?
This is a liquid death. That's where I'm rocking at today. You got to murder your thirst. And I feel like, we're going to be talking a lot today. I might as well wet my whistle.
Yes.
Thirst is definitely getting murdered.
Dude, that's a good ad. You should send it to him for UGC ads.
I should.
Charles, I didn't get to meet you until recently in person, and you're so enjoyable to talk in person that I want to invite you to the show. A lot of people around the space know you as the Facebook guy. You're the guy who has spent an absurd amount of money on Facebook. What's that number again? $400 million on Facebook spent across your accounts and your students?
Yeah, something around 300 to 400 million right now. I mean, you have to remember that I have some stuff where it's a 7-figure daily budget. I might have a 7-figure monthly budget.
Right.
Sometimes it's 8. I've 9 years ago, I was overseeing Activision, Nissan, CBS, and Levi's. Like, they had 8-figure monthly combined budgets. Like, I would spend $1 million a day for CBS on an average basis. So, like, it's sometimes D2C, sometimes brand building. But yeah, that number is just absurd. And I was just the right guy in the right room at the right time to be able to have that opportunity.
Absolutely. And everyone's talking about Facebook ads this and Facebook ads that. And lately, it's been a lot of negative sentiments because of the changes. And I don't want to just do another show about, let's just complain about iOS 14 changes. Today, I actually want to talk about, some of your findings from spending so much money on Facebook. You're definitely getting a lot more data than the rest of us. I also want to dig in on things like, how do we combat the changes of Facebook as a marketer? Things are actually still working. And I want to go into some controversial stuff, some of your most controversial takes. We'll dive deep into that. But first off, I really want to ask you, how has Facebook changed today compared to 3 years ago? Like, does it still work, or does it just work a little bit less?
Yeah, I think Facebook, I'll say it's a double-edged sword. Number one, Facebook is smarter than it has ever been, which means that if you're using it in a way that leverages it, it's easier than it's ever been. On the other side of that, though, especially now, you'll see a lot of controversy thrown around iOS 14 and tracking of information. As far as I'm concerned, I remember every day for years. I remember before there was attribution on Facebook. So, and then it was lovely that we had it. And then everybody complained about it, took too much credit. And now they're saying, well, we don't get enough credit. And at the end of the day, business owners don't really care about credit. They care about revenue. So I'm not really concerned with feeding my ego as a marketer nearly as much as growing brands and businesses. That all being said, what happened last year more than anything, and is attributed to iOS 14, but is actually way more tied in with the rise of TikTok, is Facebook made a very specific point, and they were very public about this, but I don't think it really registered with a lot of folks that they are prioritizing the end user experience more than they have in a very long time. So Facebook wants you to be happy with your time on Facebook and on Instagram. They're changing, they said, well, Instagram is a video platform and we're prioritizing communities and prioritizing connections and experience. And while iOS 14 came out at the same time, one of the big changes that we saw, and it was just a minor little shift, but because of machine learning, it has compounding impacts, is marketers that don't prioritize the end user experience saw soaring costs on the platforms. And those that did prioritize the way that Facebook users felt on the platform, basically those that cared about their business partner's bottom line, saw tremendous success. And as a for instance, I got a student of mine from the Facebook Ads MBA program. He runs women's print on demand jewelry in America. He was upset during Black Friday because his CPMs went up by 50%, all the way to $16 and $18. Most people I know would love to see some CPM like that at all. And that was his super high, super high, competition marketplace, marketing towards women that aren't necessarily wanting to buy with jewelry, which everybody's trying to hawk. And in that space, because his ads did the job of meeting Facebook's business objectives, he was getting ridiculously low cost of inventory. And so this is really playing into the idea of we have to stop thinking of Facebook as a PPC platform. It's not display. It's not programmatic. It's not email. It's not an inventory or demand-based platform. It is a user experience platform. And the less you try to force your experience you want onto people to try to extract money from them, the more you make Facebook's business objective of time on site and on app and consumer intent positive, the cheaper it's going to be for you to advertise and the higher the quality of the experiences, the auctions you're going to win. At the end of the day, say you really give a damn about the end consumer. You're running heavily creative testing. There's a branding approach to it. You're running broad, dynamic creatives, lowest cost. You're doing all of that stuff. And I'm working off of interest groups and bidding models and lookalikes and heavily retargeting things, trying to do everything. I might have one or two ad sets that are way better than your broad. But every month you're getting better. Every month I have to work harder and harder just to maintain the same thing because I am basically making it more and more difficult just to stay afloat every month. And after a year, I'm probably going to struggle to stay on the platform. And you might struggle with funding because you ran out of money because you've been doing so much. And I've had more people struggle with having to go to VCs early and inventory issues than I have people being priced out of the marketplace when you align yourself with Facebook's objectives. And I think every platform, every business relationship works like that. Any relationship, honestly. If you had a friend that said, this is what I need from you, if my wife said, this is what I need from you, and my response was to give her the finger and demand money, we're not going to be in a relationship very long. And there's really no difference with Facebook. I just think that in the last year, that's just amplified.
Right. So what you're saying is let Facebook do its thing because it's just so much smarter than us. And the more you try to work against it, the harder your life will be.
Yeah.